How to choose the best books for surviving a zombie apocalypse based on genre, style and reviews. If you are looking for some books that will help you survive a zombie apocalypse, you might be overwhelmed by the number of options available. How do you know which ones are worth reading and which ones are just a waste of time? Here are some tips on how to choose the best books for surviving a zombie apocalypse based on genre, style and reviews. Genre. The first thing you need to consider is what kind of zombie apocalypse you are facing. Are the zombies slow and dumb, or fast and smart? Are they infected by a virus, a curse or something else? Are they the only threat, or are there other dangers like bandits, mutants or aliens? Depending on your scenario, you might want to pick a different genre of books. For example, if you want a realistic and scientific approach to the zombie outbreak, you might enjoy books like World War Z by Max Brooks or Cell by Stephen King. These books explore how the zombies came to be, how they spread, and how humanity tries to fight back. If you want a more action-packed and thrilling experience, you might like books like Day by Day Armageddon by J. Born or Die Trying by Nicholas Ryan. These books follow the adventures of survivors who have to deal with zombies, military, and other enemies in a chaotic world. If you want a more emotional and character-driven story, you might prefer books like The First Days by Rhiannon Frater or The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. These books focus on how the characters cope with the loss of their loved ones, their moral dilemmas, and their relationships in a zombie-infested world. If you want a more humorous and lighthearted take on the zombie apocalypse, you might enjoy books like The Zombie Chasers by John Klopfer or My Rotten Life by David Luber. These books are aimed at younger readers and feature funny situations, jokes, and zombies that are not too scary. Style. The next thing you need to consider is what kind of style you like in your books. Do you prefer a first-person or a third-person narration? Do you like a linear or a non-linear plot? Do you like a single or a multiple point of view? Do you like a short or a long book? Depending on your preferences, you might want to pick a different style of books. For example, if you prefer a first-person narration, you might feel more immersed in the story and connect better with the protagonist. You might like books like Day by Day Armageddon by J. Born or The Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks. These books are written as journals or manuals that give you an intimate perspective of the zombie apocalypse. If you prefer a third-person narration, you might get a broader view of the story and see different aspects of the zombie apocalypse. You might like books like World War Z by Max Brooks or The Last Kids on Earth by Max Brallier. These books are written as interviews or stories that show you different characters and locations around the world. If you prefer a linear plot, you might follow the story more easily and enjoy the suspense and tension. You might like books like Cell by Stephen King or The First Days by Rhiannon Frater. These books have a clear beginning, middle, and end that take you on a journey through the zombie apocalypse. If you prefer a non-linear plot, you might be more intrigued and surprised by the story and its twists. You might like books like World War Z by Max Brooks or The Zombie Awakening by Chris Grabenstein. These books have a fragmented structure that jumps back and forth in time and space to reveal different aspects of the zombie apocalypse. If you prefer a single point of view, you might get more attached to one character and their struggles. You might like books like Day by Day Armageddon by J. Born or The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. These books have one main narrator who tells you their personal experience of the zombie apocalypse. If you prefer a multiple point of view, you might get more variety and diversity in your story. You might like books like World War Z by Max Brooks or Fighting to Survive by Rhiannon Frater. These books have several narrators who tell you their different perspectives of the zombie apocalypse. If you prefer a short book, you might get more satisfaction and closure in your reading. You might like books like Die Trying by Nicholas Ryan or Zombie Baseball Beatdown by Paolo Bacigalupi. These books are less than 300 pages long and can be read in one sitting. If you prefer a long book, you might get more depth and detail in your reading. You might like books like World War Z by Max Brooks or Autumn by David Moody. These books are more than 400 pages long and can take several days to finish. Reviews. The last thing you need to consider is what other people think about the books. Reviews can help you get an idea of what to expect from the books and whether they match your tastes. You can find reviews on websites like Goodreads, Amazon, or Shepherd, where readers share their opinions and ratings of the books. You can also find reviews on blogs, podcasts, magazines, or newspapers that specialize in zombie fiction. Depending on your sources, you might want to look for different kinds of reviews. For example, if you want an objective and professional review, you might look for reviews that are written by experts or critics who have read many zombie books and can compare them with others. They can give you an analysis of the strengths and weaknesses of the books, as well as their originality and relevance. If you want a subjective and personal review, you might look for reviews that are written by fans or readers who have similar tastes as yours. They can give you an impression of how they felt about the books, as well as their likes and dislikes. If you want an interactive and social review, you might look for reviews that are written by groups or communities who have read the books together. They can give you a discussion of the different opinions and perspectives of the books, as well as their questions and answers. Conclusion. Choosing the best books for surviving a zombie apocalypse based on genre, style, and reviews can be challenging but rewarding. By following these tips, you can find some books that will suit your preferences and needs. Remember that there is no one right answer when it comes to zombie fiction. Everyone has their own taste and opinion. The most important thing is to enjoy reading and learning from these amazing stories. Bolts and bullets. Some examples of good weapons are a shotgun with shells, a bayonet and a sling. A katana with a sheath, a sharpening stone and a cloth. A fire axe with a handle, a head and a belt loop. A crossbow with bolts, a quiver and a scope. Some examples of bad weapons are a flamethrower with fuel tanks, hose and sparks, a chainsaw with blades, motor and noise, a grenade with pins, a timer and shrapnel, a nail gun with nails, a cord and jamming. These are some of the tips and strategies from the books that can help you survive in a zombie apocalypse. Remember to always be prepared, alert and resourceful. Good luck! How to enjoy the books as a source of entertainment and inspiration during the zombie apocalypse. You might think that reading books is the last thing you would want to do when zombies are roaming the streets and threatening your survival. But books can actually be a great source of entertainment and inspiration during the zombie apocalypse. Here are some reasons why you should read books and how to make the most of them. First of all, books can help you escape from the harsh reality of your situation. Reading can transport you to different worlds, where you can experience adventure, romance, mystery, and humor. You can forget about your worries and fears for a while and immerse yourself in the stories of other characters. Books can also stimulate your imagination and creativity, which can be useful for finding solutions to your problems or coming up with new ideas. Secondly, books can teach you valuable skills and knowledge that can help you survive. Reading books about zombies can give you tips on how to fight them, avoid them, or outsmart them. You can also learn about survival skills, such as how to make a fire, find food and water, build a shelter, or treat wounds. Books can also provide you with information about different places, cultures, history, science, and more. You never know when you might need some trivia or facts to impress someone or get out of a sticky situation. Thirdly, books can inspire you to keep going and not give up hope. Reading books about heroes and heroines who overcome challenges and obstacles can motivate you to do the same. You can learn from their courage, resilience, wisdom, and compassion. You can also find role models and mentors who can guide you and advise you. Books can also show you that there is still beauty and goodness in the world, even in the midst of chaos and horror. So how can you enjoy reading books during the zombie apocalypse? Here are some tips. Schedule time for reading. Find a quiet and safe place where you can relax and focus on your book. You might read before bed, during your lunch break, or whenever you have some free time. Find your ideal medium. You might prefer reading print books, ebooks, or audiobooks. Choose the one that suits your preferences and availability. You might also switch between different formats depending on your mood or situation. Join a book club. If you have other survivors with you, you might start a book club where you can share your thoughts and opinions on the books you read. You can also exchange books with each other or recommend new ones. This can help you bond with your fellow survivors and have some fun conversations. Find a comfortable spot. Make sure you have a cozy and comfortable place to read your book. You might use a pillow, a blanket, a chair, or a hammock. You might also light a candle, play some music, or have a snack nearby. Turn off distractions. Try to avoid anything that might interrupt your reading or distract your attention. You might turn off your phone, radio, or TV. You might also ask others not to disturb you while you are reading. Know how to find the right books. Choose books that interest you and match your reading level. You might browse through different genres, authors, or topics. You might also ask for recommendations from other readers or librarians. Keep a reading journal. You might write down your thoughts and feelings about the books you read in a journal. You might also write down quotes, questions, ideas, or insights that come to you while reading. This can help you reflect on what you read and remember it better. Toss out the rules. Don't feel pressured to finish every book you start or read every word on every page. If you don't like a book or find it boring or difficult, feel free to skip it or put it down. Read at your own pace and enjoy the process. Reading books can be a wonderful way to enjoy yourself and enrich your life during the zombie apocalypse. Books can offer you entertainment, education, inspiration, and more. So grab a book today and start reading.